Any doubts? Any doubts in whatever we have covered till now in arithmetic or geometry? If you have any doubts, do let me know. Yesterday we covered basics of geometry. We also covered Pythagoras theorem. It was very simple, like sum of squares of two sides of a right angle triangle are equal to square of hypotenuse. And any pair of three numbers that follow that rule are called Pythagorean triplets. Famous triplets are 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 5, 12, 13, then 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17. These are the famous triplets that I asked you to remember, because sometimes they come very handy when you are solving the direction type of question, and you can solve it within seconds instead of calculating square, adding and subtracting, etc. If you don't remember, then you'll have to add and subtract square. You will have to do that. And 9, 40, 41. These are the triplets you can remember. 5, 12, 13, 6, 8, 10, 3, 4, 5, 8, 15, 17. And for any triplet, if you multiply every number of a triplet by a common number, common integer, then it will give us a new triplet. Then we solve these three PYQs, no? Any doubt in these PYQs? They were very simple PYQs. Now we want to learn about few other planar shapes and their properties. Yesterday's recorded class is not available. Abir, I'll ask them, but it gets uploaded within a day. I'll ask them why is it not. Today we'll see some planar shapes and very important properties of these few planar shapes. Basic properties. First is quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means a shape which has 4 sides, 4 vertices, and therefore 4 angles. Planar polygon having 4 edges and 4 vertices. These are vertices, and the edges are straight lines. They intersect in these 4 points. Then regular polygon. Polygon is a shape in a plane which has multiple edges, and all these edges are straight lines. For example, any shape like this, however many edges, this is called polygon. Poly matlab multiple. So polygon is a shape having multiple edges, and all these edges are straight lines. A regular polygon matlab, regular polygon is a polygon which has all sides as equal. All sides are equal. Then equilateral triangle, we know it is a regular polygon. Equilateral triangle, do you know? All sides of the triangle are equal, then it is called equilateral triangle. Or square, it is a regular polygon. Then regular pentagon, the polygon having 5 sides and which is all of the sides are equal, something like this, regular pentagon. Then we will see some properties of popular planar shape. First is circle. Circle, we have already defined that it is a curve in a space or in a plane such that it is at a constant distance from a fixed point. We take a point on a plane, any point, and we decide a constant distance, and from that point at a constant distance we draw a curve. That curve is called circle. Circle has a center and it has a radius. That constant distance is called radius. For a circle with radius r, if you have a circle like this, radius, let us say r. Let us assume for all purposes that this is a circle. Diameter is a uh, diameter is a chord that passes through the center. If I draw any line joining random 2 points on a circle, it is called a chord of a circle. And if this chord passes through the center of a circle, then this is the longest possible chord that we can have in a circle, and it is called the diameter of a circle. And diameter is nothing but 2 times the radius of circle. कोई problem नहीं है इसमें. You already know all this. We are just revising it. Diameter is the longest chord, and it passes through a center of the circle, and its length is 2 times r, or 2 times the radius. Diameter is the largest chord of the circle, of course, because any other chord which is not passing through center, ये तो इससे छोटी ही होगी. Diameter makes right angle with every point on a circle. Let us understand what do we mean by this property. This is again the most favorite property of UPSC, जहाँ से question बनेंगे. Question will get formed from some of these unique properties. So we are saying that if we have a circle, we have a center here, and let us say this is a diameter. This is a diameter. We know that these angles are straight angles. मतलब how what would their measure be? ये angle कितने का होगा? 180, right? This is a straight angle, and we are saying that if these are the endpoints of this diameter, let us say AB, and let us call this center as O, and I take any point on this circumference, any point, doesn't matter if I take here, wherever you want, you can take any point on the circumference, doesn't matter, and I join this with 2 endpoints. I can join this point with this point, 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 right? And in every case, all these angles are right. All these triangle formed are basically right angled triangles. Of course, here it is coming out less than 90, but this is our figure is not to the scale. But this is what is the property of circle. When we have a diameter, and when we consider any point on circumference, except these two, of course, A and B, then the angle subtended by this diameter at that point would be pi by 2, 90 degrees, or this triangle form is a right angled triangle. समझ गए? What is this property? No problem. Did you guys understand this property? Now let us see what else we can study about circles. Now, if we have a center here, we have this is called a chord of a circle. Let this chord be not passing through center, then this is not a diameter, right? This is smaller than, this chord would be smaller than diameter. Then what I do is I drop a perpendicular from the center on this chord. Because I have dropped perpendicular, this is 90 degrees. Then in case of circle, what happens is this chord is bisected, matlab these two lengths are same. These two lengths are obviously same. Why is OA and OB same? They are radius. Both are radius. Radius तो constant होती है. That is why they are same. Of course, Pythagoras is also something you can employ, but no need. Radius of circle क्यों? If it is radius, they are same, and this side is common. Then these two triangles are similar and congruent. Congruent मतलब एकदम एक जैसे है वो. These two triangles. Further, what I do is I choose a point on circumference. I choose a point on circumference and get this point C. Now I want to comment on this angle. And this angle. What can I say about individually this angle? I mean, forget about that angle for a moment. What can I say about this central angle? Because this is a chord and we are subtending some angle, and we also know that this is O is a point. O is a point on a point in a plane. So what is the entire angle around O? 360 total angle, right? And this entire angle of 360 corresponds to entire circle or entire circumference. So whatever this angle is, angle subtended by this chord at the center corresponds to length of this arc of a circle. पूरा अगर circumference है, if I have the whole circumference, angle subtended is 360 and everything is angularly similar. There is no direction that is specific here. There is perfect symmetry with respect to direction. All directions are equal. So if I have to measure this arc, angular measurement of this arc is basically this angle. If I measure this arc in, let us say, centimeters, and I take exactly same length arc here somewhere, and I then measure the central angle, will it be same or not? It will be same, because if lengths are same, angle subtended at the center would also be same. This is the angular measurement of the arc, right? Okay, fine. Coming back to these angles, what happens is we have a chord, we have angle subtended by a chord at the center, and we have angle subtended by the chord at the circumference. Then if this is x, then this angle is 2x. Okay, so this is x. So x can be anything, like if x is 30, this angle would be 60. If x is 60, this angle would be 120, and so on. Angle subtended by a chord at the center is twice that of angle subtended by the chord at circumference. And of course, we are taking other side of it, like the smaller side, other side of center. We are not taking point on circumference on this side. We are taking on the smaller side. There is one more word that is mentioned here. Tangent. What is tangent? Tangent is nothing but a straight line that touches the circle. It touches the circle. We have, let us say, this circle, and this line is tangent. Generally what happens? Generally a straight line, if I draw, it will intersect circle in 2 points, 1 and 2, maximum 2 points. I can take this line out of if this is the line, it will not intersect this circle, that is okay. But if it is intersecting, it can intersect maximum in 2 points, and if it is intersecting in 1 point, then we call it the double root, or both the points of intersection are here only. If we solve the equations, it is actually root of the equation 2 times. Anyway, not relevant for you. What is relevant for you is, if we have a center here and if I join these 2 points, then this is 90. Okay. ठीक है. Let us not get into more detail than this. Of course, in school we have studied circle in lot more detail than what we have done, but we are just interested in covering the basics or the most important part, not everything. Fine. And lastly, area of circle is pi r square and circumference of circle is 2 pi r, where r is the radius of the circle. Area pi r square होता है and circumference is 2 pi r होता है. This 2 pi r is nothing but diameter. 2 into r is diameter, no? It can also be written as pi into d. This is what happens in Euclidean geometry, and pi is in fact sometimes defined like this: ratio of circumference to the diameter. Circumference is 2 pi d divided by diameter, we will have pi. The ratio of circumference of a circle to diameter is approximated which is exactly pi. You can draw size of any size of circle, and this ratio circumference to the diameter comes out to be same constant pi. That is how pi is defined. Again, this happens in Euclidean geometry. In non-Euclidean geometry, anything can happen. We don't. There are multiple different things that happen. For example, I was studying about black holes. In black holes, if you measure the circumference of the black hole, if you measure the diameter of the black hole, for example, they were saying diameter, let us say, is 10 miles, and you expect circumference to be pi into 10 miles, right? But circumference, they were saying, comes out to be millions of miles. This happens in non-Euclidean geometry. Here we are dealing with Euclidean geometry, so everything is fine. Let us move on to our next shape. Any problem in this circle? We will see the PYQs and why is everything we are studying is relevant. Don't worry, I am not teaching you anything irrelevant. There we have studied circle in lots and lots of detail in our school days, but that is not important. We are just covering what is relevant based on the PYQs. अगर इसके ऊपर आ जाए, if they ask you something that is beyond this, you can always leave the question. But there is some boundary that we have to define. इसके आगे नहीं पढ़ना है. Because if you start to studying anything and everything, it is just not possible to cover it. Area, circumference of circle. Then what most important property was angle subtended by the diameter at the point on circumference was 90 degree, or that triangle was right angle triangle. Then if you drop a perpendicular from center on a chord, then chord is bisected, and angular measurement of a chord, angle subtended by a chord at center was twice that of angle subtended by a chord at circumference. These are the only properties that we studied. Now let us talk about triangle in general. Then there are some specific triangles where we will go a little bit deeper with. For any triangle, triangle is a shape which has 3 edges and 3 vertices. So you can have triangle like this, triangle like this, right? You can have triangle like this. Any 3 edges will form a triangle. Those 3 edges need not be same. You can have triangle something like this as well. The 2 edges are very long and third edge is very small, right? All these are different kinds of triangles. But for any of these triangles, sum of all the angles is always 180 degrees. Sum of all the angles of triangle is always 180 degree. So why? Because I can take any triangle. Let us say this is any triangle. I can draw it like this. Then what I do is I draw a parallel line to this. Let us call it BC. Let's call it A. Right. I draw a parallel line to BC through A. कर सकता हूँ draw, कोई problem नहीं है. I can always do this for any triangle. Then what can I say about this angle and this angle? Equal है. Why? Because they are alternate. Z shape. Similarly, this angle is equal to this angle C. Again alternate angles. And what can I say about this total angle? 180. This is a straight angle. Angle B plus angle C plus angle A is 180 degree. So sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree for any triangle. You can easily see this just by drawing one single parallel line through vertex other than the line forming segment forming vertices. Fine. In case your younger brother or sister asks you, ऐसा क्यों होता है? You can prove it in front of them and become hero. Other than that, is proof का कोई बहुत ज़्यादा हमारे लिए relevance नहीं है. You need to remember this, that sum of angles of the triangle is 180. If you forget this fact, then it is very difficult for you to remember other complicated facts. This is very elementary fact that you know from the school. Then this fact is called triangle inequality. What does it say? What it says is that sum of lengths of two sides of triangle is always greater than the third side. Sum of lengths of two sides of triangle is always greater than the third side. So I can have any kind of triangle. Let us say this, where one side is bigger than other two. But what we are saying is sum of this and this is always greater than this. And it is also kind of obvious. You can see it once you draw. You can clearly see. I can draw any triangle. Let us say, if I draw any triangle, of course this is the largest side, because I have drawn it like this. Now I drop a perpendicular. If I have this A, B, C, then what is length of AB? And this is B. AD plus BD. Length of AB is equal to AD plus BD. No problem. And AC is bigger than AD. Why? In the right angle triangle, hypotenuse is bigger than side. Similarly, BC is greater than CD. Again, in the right angle triangle, hypotenuse is greater than side. So, of course, this would be less than AC plus BC. Simple, no problem. And this is not just for any kind of triangle. I can do this for other kinds of triangle as well. Let us say this is obtuse angle triangle. Then again, this side I can draw perpendicular on the from this direction, and I can do this for any kind of triangle. No problem. Fine. So in a triangle, sum of two sides is always greater than the third side, and that is true for all the sides. Again, if the question is how many triangles are possible, what is something you need to check? If the vertices are given, then you have to check if they are collinear or not. Except for 3 collinear vertices, all the 3 points, any 3 randomly chosen points would form a triangle, except when they are in straight line. Obviously, that we saw. If they are like this, then they will not form a triangle. Only this is the case when they will not form a triangle. But any other case, you can take any one vertex of the line and we will have a triangle. Any 3 non-collinear points will form a triangle. But if lengths are given, then how would you check how many triangles are possible? You will ensure that triangle inequality is satisfied. That sum of the sum of the two sides is always greater than the third side. That is something you will ensure, and for whenever that happens, triangle inequality will be satisfied and the 3 sides will form a triangle. Fine. If vertices are given, you need to ensure they are non-collinear. If sides are given, then you need to ensure triangle inequality is satisfied. Only 2 kinds of question can come. इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं आएगा. And this is also they have not asked till now the triangle inequality question, but it is again something from our schools. We should know it. Any doubts so far? Online students, are you guys with me? So तो नहीं रहे हो? Online students, any issue? Let me know. If you have any issues, any problems, are you guys with me? Okay, next property that we want to understand is relation between interior angles and exterior angles. What is exterior angle? If we have any kind of triangle and I'll extend this line. This is a triangle A, B, C, and I extend this line. This angle is called exterior angle, and these are interior angles. अंदर वाले बाहर वाले. These are interior angles. This is exterior angle. What we are saying is this interior angle, let us call it Z. Let us call this X. Let us call this Y. This Z is equal to X plus Y. That is what we are saying. This exterior angle is equal to sum of interior angles except its own supplementary angle. Why would that be true? Because this angle plus X plus Y कितना होता है? 180, and this angle plus Z कितना होता है? Of course Z is equal to those two angles, no problem, right? But sometimes this can be useful in, I don't know, some figures. Last thing you need to remember, what is perimeter of a triangle? Perimeter, have you heard this word, perimeter? Perimeter is sum of the lengths of 3 sides, that is perimeter of triangle. And what is the area of triangle? Most popular formula is, if you have triangle like this, if you draw a perpendicular from one vertex to the opposite side, and this is the height of a triangle and this is base of a triangle, then area is half into base into height. Okay, you can take any side as a base. If you take this BC as a base, then you need to take this H dash as a height. If you want to take that as a base, you need to take this as a height. If you want to take this as a base, then you need to take this as a height. Half into base into height is area of triangle. in terms of height and base. If there is one more popular formula that we have studied in schools, it's called Heron's formula. I don't know if you remember this, but if you have, let us say, this triangle ABC and sides are, let us say, this is A, this is B, this is C. Then we define a semi-perimeter. It's called a semi-perimeter. Okay, this is not average length. Average length would be A plus B plus C by 3. We are not taking average length, we are taking semi-perimeter, half of the perimeter. And then we say that area is equal to square root of S into S minus A, S minus B, S minus. This is another popular formula for calculating area of triangle. Most popular is, of course, half into base into height, and second most popular that we learnt in our schools is Heron's formula. If you are having lengths of the edges, then we can directly calculate area using this formula. Fine. That is mentioned, all the properties that we have studied are mentioned for your reference in your booklets. You don't need to write down everything. You can always refer to the booklet. It is, everything is mentioned there. If you want to write explanation, you can mention in the booklet as only. If you have multiple notes on one topic at multiple places, it makes your own job difficult to go back and refer. तो पता नहीं होता कहाँ पे रेफर करूँ, यहाँ पे है, वहाँ पे है, कहाँ पे. But if everything is in the one place, you know that this is the place I have to go and this is all I have at one place. अगर मेरे पास ये प्रॉपर्टी या ये चीज नहीं लिखी हुई है, true for GS as well, then I better go on the internet and study that thing and come back and add into my that topic's notes. One topic, one place. That should be note making formula. Anyway, any problem in this triangle? General properties of the triangle, specific properties of few triangle we'll see. But in general properties of triangle, do you have any issue? No? Sure. Now, let us talk about equilateral triangle. What is equilateral triangle? Triangle whose all sides are equal or all sides are of same length, all edges are same, all angles are same, then it's extremely symmetric. Everything is where it should be. It doesn't matter where you look at it from, right? We have a triangle something like this. All the sides are equal. Let us call this A. What is the perimeter? 3A, clearly. What is each angle? All of them are equal. 60, 60, 60 because sum is 180. Angle is 60 degree. If I drop a perpendicular here, of course this would be bisected. The opposite chords would be bisected. So each of them would be A by 2, A by 2. What is this length? H. Let us call it H, height. You can calculate by Pythagoras theorem or not. You know the hypotenuse, you know the one side, you can calculate the third side. We can have H square plus A by 2 square is equal to A square by Pythagoras theorem. So H square is equal to A square minus A square by 4, right? Is equal to 4A square minus A square, so 3A square by 4, or you can make the bases same, denominator same. You have to multiply both sides by 4, so 4A square minus A square would be 3A square by 4. H square is this, so H would be plus minus root of 3 then A by 2, right? But this plus minus is irrelevant because length of the side is this, so it is always positive, length cannot be negative. This is the height that we got. What is the area of triangle? Half base. What is base? This is A into height. Height is that height, root 3 A by 2, which is equal to root 3 A square by 4. It's fine if you don't remember this as a formula. You can always derive this using Pythagoras very quickly in examination hall. In case you don't want to remember this as a formula, just remember the process or what we did. We just want to apply half into base into height to find the area, and because we already have base, we just need height, and height we can calculate directly from the Pythagoras theorem. Online students, are you guys with me? Abir, Yashraj? Yes, okay, good. Good. This is A square. This is a typo. You can make this A into A square. Of course, area A root 3 A square by 4, not 3 by. All angles are equal to 60 degree as sum of the triangles is 180 degree. Then next kind of triangle is isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. This is a triangle where two sides are equal, but third is different from these two sides. It looks something like this. Isosceles triangle. So this side is equal to this side, but third side is different. Third side is not equal to these two sides. What are the properties of such a triangle? If we have a triangle, let us say this, these two sides are equal. So by symmetry, these two angles are equal, the bottom ones. This would be different, but these two angles would be same. Then if I draw a perpendicular from the point of intersection of equal sides, then it will bisect the third side, right? You can draw this and just check, आपको सामने दिख जाएगा ये. This is by symmetry as well. If the two sides are equal, then corresponding angles are equal. And if you have a triangle, some other case when you have nothing, you have no information about the sides, then but if you find, if let us say if this is a triangle that you have and these two angles are equal, then also you can automatically comment that these two sides should be equal. This follows from similar triangles. Okay. I know you have studied this in school, similar triangles, something called as SAA test, SAS test, etc. Again, fine, you have studied this in the school, but not relevant for us really right now. We just want to cover enough for UPSC CSAT, and if by our misfortune they ask something from the past, then we will treat it as a blast from the past and forget it. We'll move on to the next question, no problem. But if they ask a simple question, That should be something that we should deal with. So if we have equal sides, then corresponding angles would be equal, and if you have equal angle, then corresponding sides would be equal. ठीक है? The third property, I already told you that if you drop a perpendicular, it will bisect the third side. That is the third property. Now, right angle triangle. In a right angle triangle, one of the angles is 90 degree. So sum of the other two is 90, because total is 180. No? If one is 90, sum of the other two would be 90. Then lengths of the sides follow Pythagoras theorem. We know this. And these are the most frequently appearing right angle triangles. One is 30, 60, 90 triangle, where this angle is 30, this is 60, and this is 90. In such a case, lengths of the side are, if we have let us say hypotenuse is A, then this is 30, this is 60, this side is A by 2, and this side is root 3 A by. If you can remember, otherwise you can forget this one side. Remember that one side is A by 2, and automatically you know the second side by Pythagoras theorem. Just remember, the 30 के opposite वाली side होती है छोटी वाली, that is A by 2. That much you can remember. The side opposite to smaller angle, which is 30, is A by 2. Rest of the things will follow. And another angle is, another is 45, 45, 90. 45, 45, 90 meaning this is a isosceles right angle triangle. Isosceles है ना, two sides are same, third is different. And in this case, length would be, you can calculate. In this case, you don't need to remember. You treat hypotenuse as A, then if this is x, then this is x. Then by Pythagoras theorem, 2x square is equal to a square. X square plus x square is equal to a square. So 2x square is a square. X square is equal to a square by 2. X is equal to a by root 2. Again, I took only positive root because these are lengths. So in 45, 45, 90 triangle, you don't need to remember the sides. You can quickly calculate from Pythagoras theorem as well. In 30, 60, 90, you can remember one side, which is half of the hypotenuse. In case of right angle triangles, all you need to remember is the 30, 60, 90, in 30, 60, 90 triangle, one side is half of the hypotenuse. In 45, 45, 90, you don't need to remember anything, you can just calculate the sides there and in examination hall by Pythagoras. Apart from that, you should remember few Pythagorean triplets, which will come in handy when you deal with questions. Tell me again few Pythagorean triplets that we have dealt with. First was 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 5, 12, 13, correct. 9, 40, 41, okay, good. Then 15, 8, 15, 17, right? Bas, that is all. Bas, isse zyada nahi jana. These 4 or 5 examples, if you remember, it will quicken your problem solving by that. Otherwise, you will have to square them and add, subtract, etc. Next shape is quadrilateral. 4 sides, 4 angles. Sum of the 4 angles is 360 degree. You can clearly see why. If I have any, let us say, quadrilateral, assume that this is a quadrilateral and this is a straight line. Fine. If I have any quadrilateral, 4 edges, 4 angles, and my property is that sum of all the 4 angles is 360 degree. Why? I can just join these two. Now I have 2 triangles. Sum of these 3 is 180 and sum of other 3 is 180. Total 180 plus 180. We have all the angles covered, 360. Right? and perimeter, sum of all the lengths of the sides, right? Perimeter is defined like that. Then first quadrilateral we want to see is a square. Square is a quadrilateral where all sides are equal and all angles are equal. All angles are equal meaning 90 degree, because total is 360 degree. Every angle would be 90 degree plus all sides are equal. This is the length of a, all angles are 90 degree. Diagonals are also equal. What is diagonal? Diagonal is a point joining opposite vertices. So this is one diagonal, this is another diagonal, they are also equal, so everything is symmetric. Then they cut each other in half, so this side is equal to this side is equal to this side is equal to this side, and every angle is 90 degree as well. This is a total angle, central angle. Okay. Then this is a right angle triangle, smaller one. Which kind of right angle triangle? Isosceles, 45 45 90 वाला है, right? 45 45 90 right angle triangle है. So if this is A, this would be इधर देख के तो बता दो, A by root 2. So total diagonal would be 2 times A by root 2. This half of the diagonal is A by root 2. This half is also A by root 2. So total is 2 into A by root 2, which is nothing but A into root 2, because I can write this 2 as root 2 into root 2. One of them would cut, other would remain, right? So diagonal ka length is A into root 2. Yes, I have mentioned this. Diagonal length is root 2A, side length is A. Diagonals are equal and cut each other perpendicularly. As well as equally. So in square or in equilateral triangle, everything that you wish that should happen will happen. So that is the ekdam perfect ideal wala shape. Everything that you wish should happen will happen. And perimeter 4A. If side is A, perimeter would be 4 times A, side sum of the lengths of the sides. And area of a square is A square. Any issue? Any problem so far? Any doubt in any of the properties? Would you be able to remember them or भूल जाओगे, or will you forget it? क्या लगता है? रिवीजन की जरूरत है इसमें? भूल जाओगे, याद रहेगा? Most of the properties you will remember, but if you read once more or 2 times more, you should be able to recall all the properties at will when required in examination hall. चले आगे. Should we move ahead or you want to just read through all these properties once for yourself? If you want that revision for yourself, you can wait for 2 minutes, otherwise we'll move ahead. Or do one thing, let us cover all the shapes, then you can revise all the shapes together. Next shape is rectangle. Rectangle is a shape where opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal and all angles are 90 degree. So like square, all angles here will also be 90 degree. So sides will cut each other perpendicularly but here all the sides are not equal, only opposite sides are equal. So this is A, then this side is A, this is B, then this side is B. Automatically perimeter would be A plus B plus A plus B. So 2 times A plus 2 times B. Of course perimeter is just sum of the lengths of sides. Then an area would be A into B. Earlier it was A square in square. Here it would be A into B, length into breadth. Adjacent sides are A and B, lengths and breadths. Then next, what happens to diagonal? If I have this diagonal and if I have this diagonal, are they equal? Yes, symmetry hai, no problem, they will be equal. Will they cut each other in two halves, like this and this, this and this? Will they be equal? Yes, right? But is this angle now 90 degree? Clearly not, दिख रहा है वो नहीं है. This central angle in which they cut each other now will not remain 90 degree. In squares it was 90 degree. That would be the change. Diagonals will be equal, they will cut each other or they will bisect each other, but they will not bisect each other perpendicularly. You still want to see, you can take a diagonal like this, rectangle like this. One diagonal would be here, one diagonal would be here. Of course this is not a right angle triangle at the center. If I make a statement that all squares are rectangles, would that be correct? All squares are rectangles. What are the properties of rectangle? All angles should be 90 and opposite sides should be equal. Would the square follow that property? Yes. For square as well opposite sides are equal. For square as well all angles are 90. So all squares are rectangles. No problem. Right? Pratisha? All squares are rectangles. That is true. But opposite is not true. That all rectangles are not squares. Because in rectangle you can have two sides as different, but for square you need all the sides are equal. So if you want to understand by Venn diagram, you can have these are all the rectangles and inside there is square. So every square is inside rectangle. So every square would be rectangle, but there would be some rectangles which are not square. Okay. And diagonals, length of diagonal would be, this length is A, height is B, this is the right angle. What is the length of diagonal? This is A, and what is the length of diagonal? Nothing but square root of A square plus B square by Pythagoras theorem. ठीक है. Next shape we are interested in is rhombus. In rhombus, all the sides or all the lengths of the sides are equal, but all angles are not 90 degree. That is the difference between square and rhombus. In square, all the angles were 90 degree. For rhombus, we remove that restriction. We just keep the restriction of sides being equal. So, see, for square it was exactly upright, but if I remove that restriction, I can just change the orientation. If I have a skeleton made of, let us say, wire, all the lengths are equal, and I take exactly parallel, these two lines parallel, these two lines parallel, and they are perpendicular to each other. Then I will have square, But if I want to create rhombus, I will just slide them this side or this side. ऐसा कुछ shape बन जाएगा और ऐसा कुछ shape would be something like this shown here. You can have this, you can have this, right? You can have this vertical where diagonal is vertical, others are not. So in any kind of orientation, if the lengths of the sides are equal, then we call such a shape a rhombus. Only difference between rhombus and square is for square all the angles are 90 degree, for rhombus they are not. So perimeter of a rhombus will be 4 times A, because lengths are A, na? Perimeter is just sum of the sides, so that is just 4A. All sides are equal but angles are not, then opposite angles are equal. These angles are equal, right? Then these lines are parallel. So what is sum of this angle plus this angle? Property of parallel lines, 180. Similarly, this plus this is 180, plus this is 180, this plus this is 180, right? Opposite angles are equal. Then what happens to diagonals? If I have such diagonals, are they bisecting each other? Yes, there is still that symmetry, no problem. Further, they do so perpendicularly. In rectangle, they were not bisecting each other perpendicularly, but in rhombus they are. And area of rhombus will depend on the angles, that these angles. So there is no set formula because the angles are inverse. चले आगे. What you can do is you can divide it. Area would be, नहीं क्योंकि एंगल्स पे डिपेंड करता है वो, तो जितना ज्यादा झुका हुआ रैम्बस है उतना कम एरिया रहेगा उसका. ऐसा एकदम झुका, एकदम ऐसा इमेजिन करो. Something like this, not like this, maybe like this. उसका एरिया काफी कम हो जाता है, कांस्टेंट नहीं रहता कुछ. इट डिपेंड्स, इट चेंजेस ऑन द लेंस. I'll see still कुछ हो सकता है तो. If we complete the square, these two triangles are, these two are congruent or not? तो फिर a square ही आना चाहिए तो एरिया ऐसे हिसाब से तो, because when it becomes square. In rhombus both the diagonals are clearly not equal. देखो ये लंबा वाला है, ये छोटा वाला है. Diagonals are not equal in length. A square नहीं होता. If you want, if this is height या तो you need to find. If you somehow have a height or height is given, then area could be just brace into height. that can happen, because what we are doing essentially is we are taking this base, this side A, and every time we move this side along the two parallels, the side remains same, the length remains same. So we are in area, we are just adding this side A h times. Area would be B into h. But again, finding this h, if h is given, then you can directly calculate. Next is parallelogram. In parallelogram, neither angles are 90 degree nor all the sides are equal, but like rectangle, opposite sides are equal and opposite sides are parallel. So this side is A, then this side is also A. If this is B, then this is also B. Opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. Quadrilateral with equal opposite sides, but all angles are not equal. Here sides are equal and here opposite angles are equal. What rectangle is to square, parallelogram is to rhombus, right? Opposite sides are parallel to each other. Diagonals are not equal but bisect each other. Again, not perpendicularly. In rectangle also we didn't have perpendicularity, because we can have very flat rectangle. It is not possible to cut rectangularly. Similarly, a parallelogram, we can have very flat parallelogram with very small edges, very small breadth but very long length. So we can have angles, we cannot have angles always cutting each other perpendicularly. That is why they bisect each other, diagonals bisect each other, but they do not bisect so perpendicular. Hence all rectangles, squares and rhombuses are parallelograms. No issue there. All rectangles are parallelograms, opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel, yes. All square, they are square to are everything, no problem. Square is the most special shape out of quadrilateral. And all the rhombuses are parallelograms, that is again true. All the sides are equal, opposite are parallel, no problem. Right? So we have this kind of Venn diagram. This is, let us say, parallelograms. All rhombuses are parallelograms. Yes. Then can we draw it or not? I don't know. Like this. And all squares are rhombuses. Right. We also have all, these are parallelograms. All rectangles are parallelograms and all rectangles are square. Because we cannot comment like in Venn diagram on rhombus and rectangle, we cannot merge these two diagrams, because rectangle may or may not be rhombus, rhombus may or may not be rectangle. For rhombus just all sides are equal, angles पे कोई दबाव नहीं है, but for rectangles all angles need to be 90, sides can be different, so there is nothing in common. So we can have two separate Venn diagrams. Square features both. If adjacent sides of A and are A and B, then perimeter is 2 times A plus 2 times B, A plus A, B plus B, nothing but perimeter is sum of the sides, and area is again A into height. Next shape is kite. पतंग देखा है? The quadrilateral like a shape of kite is called kite. Here these two sides are equal and these two sides are equal. So it becomes these two are equal, bottom two are equal. The shape becomes something like this. Again, only relevant properties, diagonals bisect each other perpendicular. That is all. Not the diagonals bisect each other. this diagonal is bisected. The longer diameter is not, diagonal is not bisected. The smaller diagonal is bisected. If we have something like this, these two sides are equal. These two sides are equal. This is a smaller diagonal. This is the longer diagonal. This smaller diagonal is bisected, not the longer one. Clearly, दिख भी रहा है. The longer one clearly will not be bisected, right? For the kite, only one property is important, nothing else. Next shape is trapezoid. ज़्यादा हो रहा है क्या? बहुत shapes हो गए. I don't know. All of these things you have studied in school. I hope you recall those things one fine day. No, not every figure, but circles, triangles, squares. We are studying only those shapes which are relevant for us. Later shapes you may want to ignore, like kite. Kite is not relevant, but anyway there is only one single property that I have mentioned. If you can remember that, if not, well, that's okay. But circle, quadrilateral, triangle, basic properties you should remember, na, that sum of the angles is 160 for triangle, 180 for triangle, 360 for square. That you should remember. There is no way, because that will be asked one way or the other. And the properties of circle, that is important. We will see the PYQs. When we see the PYQs, you will understand which of these are important, which of these you can ignore. That you can choose on your own. But anyway, later figures, I have not given many properties, I have just mentioned few. Then trapezoid. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral in which these two sides, one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So this side is parallel to this. Then area of this would be half of A plus B, sum of the parallel sides, into H. This is the formula. ठीक है. If you want to remember, you can. Otherwise, break this figure. Do something like this. Then this side, this would be opposite of A, and this plus this would be B minus A. Right? Area of this rectangle would be H, and these triangles together would be, base is B minus A, height is same, so half of B minus A H. If you calculate this, it will come out to be equal to this. No issue. उतना ही मेंशन किया मैंने कि इसका एरिया क्या होता है. अदर प्रॉपर्टीज कुछ मेंशन नहीं है, कुछ है भी नहीं उसकी ज्यादा स्पेशल प्रॉपर्टीज. देयर आर नो स्पेशल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ trapezoid other than its area, but its area can always be found by breaking this trapezoid into smaller figures of triangles and rectangles. Okay, that also you can do. I just shown you how. This is rectangle, then other two triangles you can combine, so that you know the base. This is out of B, A is this length, remaining base is B minus A, height is common for both these triangles, so height is H. So you know the area, half of base into height. Now let us go to next figures. Move on from quadrilateral. Next is pentagon. Pentagon is a polygon having 5 sides and 5 angles. Regular pentagon meaning all angles are equal and all sides are equal. And every angle is 108 degree. How do you calculate it? It's very easy. If you have a pentagon, I take a point in the center, I form all these triangles. How many triangles I form? 5. So what is sum of all the angles of all the triangles of all these triangles? 180 into 5 is equal to 900, out of which I subtract these angles. What is there? Minus 360. What do I get? 540. You can do the subtraction. 540. So what is 540? Sum of this plus this plus this plus this plus this, right? सही है ना? And all these angles are equal. So what would be each angle? 540 divided by 5, which is 108. And I can do this for any n-gon. So here I do it for pentagon. Let us say I have octagon. So 8 sides. If this is regular octagon, all angles are equal. I want to calculate what is each angle. What is each angle? How do we calculate? You remember the formula, you can put directly, no problem. But if you don't, take a point in the center, form the triangles. Just tell me how many triangles are formed. How many triangles can you form? 8, because there are 8 sides. So for any n-gon, you can form n triangles. You have 180 into n is the total sum of angles, out of which I always subtract 360, because I want to subtract this and I have to divide by your n, because there will be n angles. That would be the formula. यही है, यही से आता है, कहाँ से आएगा? Fine. You can do this for any regular n-gon. Don't try to remember formula. Don't try to mug up the formula, because there is lot of other things that your brain needs to mug up. This is something that you can derive on your own in examination hall. Do that. Just divide the figure into triangles, जिसका तुम्हें पता है कि sum of the angles क्या होता है. And it is not necessary every time that you do it in triangle. Triangle we do because triangle is convenient. You can break this into any kind of figure. For example, I can take a point. I do this for this is one quadrilateral. Fine. Then let us say this is a pentagon, and this is another pentagon. Fine. I know quadrilateral and sum of angles is 360. For pentagon, we just calculated. What was it? 540. And for this 540, take sum, subtract 360, because it is a central angle that we don't want. You will get the same answer. That also you can do, no problem. Okay. Any problem? If you want to remember the method, just divide into triangles. That would be easiest. ये सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा. You can calculate easily. Yes, each angle here would be 108 for regular pentagon. What would happen for regular hexagon? Each angle would be, calculate hexagon के लिए. हाँ ठीक है, स्टिल वेरीफाई कर लो फिर कि मैं सही हूँ. Online students, are you guys with me? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, आर यू गाइस विथ मी? समझ रहा है सब कुछ? आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? आ रहा है? देन रेगुलर ऑक्टागन, same question for regular octagon. 8 triangles would be formed. So sum of the angles would be 18 into 8. 18 8 is a 14410 minus 360 would be 1080. Huh? 1080 divided by, there are 8 angles, 135. अच्छा, गलती से क्या होगा? This is 8 for octagon. This is 8. Please correct it in your booklets. ऊपर का कॉपी पेस्ट हो गया होगा, ठीक है? Now I'll give you 5 minutes, revise all the properties, and then we shall start dealing with PYQs. तो नहीं नहीं देखो दैट, हाँ हाँ सेम ही आएगा. दिस ट्रायंगल कैन बी शिफ्टेड टू हियर. हाँ. क्यों? h इज हाइट. हम्म. नो नो, तो ये गायब है ना इधर से रेक्टेंगल का. तो ये ट्रायंगल तुम ऐसे इमेजिन करो, ये ट्रायंगल मैंने उठाया और यहाँ पे रख दिया, रेक्टेंगल बन गया. ऑफ साइड्स ए एंड एच. ये डायगोनल भी तो, ये तो हाइपोटेनस भी तो बी है. ये उठा के ऐसे बी के इधर रख दिया, तो बन गया रेक्टेंगल. क्या हुआ? रुको रुको रुको. इससे एक बार देखो अपने काम को. ऊपर की साइड जो तुमने रेक्टेंगल जो बनाया, उसकी ऊपर की साइड ए है क्या? दैट इज नॉट ए ना, तो ए से छोटा हो गया. पढ़ लिया? ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स, आर यू गाइस रिवाइजिंग और नॉट? रिवीजन के लिए टाइम दिया है. जस्ट go through the all the go through all the properties. In tomorrow's class we will cover comprehension. Fine. Comprehension कल करेंगे. So that from tomorrow onwards, in every class we will solve 2, 3, 4 comprehensions. That over the period अच्छी practice हो जाए हमारी. And at your end you should work on your reading speed. That I have said many times. अश्विनी, अबीर, यशराज, पढ़ रहे हो गया? कहाँ तक आया? डन. ओके. Good. बुकलेट नहीं है तुम्हारे पास? ले लो बाहर से. Okay, done. Let us start with CSE 2023. First question. Read the question. This question is mixture of geometry and permutations and combination chapter. Of course, we have not covered permutations and combinations there. So it is possible that you may not be able to solve it right now. It is possible, but just tell me, is there any condition that we need to impose on the, just firstly draw the figure. Firstly draw the figure as per the question. How it looks like, let us see. We are given ABCD is a square. Now you know what is square. Then one point on each of AB and CD and two distinct points on BC and DA are chosen. Okay, 1 point on AB and CD and 2 points each on BC and AD. Just mark them on your diagram, and there is no information about which these points are, so you can choose any random points as per your convenience, no problem. Question is, now read the question. How many distinct triangles can be formed out of these 6 points? Huh? 8 kahan? 1 point on AB and CD. They are not considering ABCD as points of interest. So we are considering this kind of square. Let us say ABCD. We are taking 1 point on AB and CD. So let us take 1, 2, okay, and 2 points on BC and AD. BC 2 points. Let us choose 2 points, and AD 2 points. 6 points total. Question is, how many triangles, distinct triangles, can be formed, can be drawn using 3 points as a vertices out of these 6 points. So I have to choose 3 points out of these 6, and I'll get some triangles. Question is, how many different triangles? Now what did we discuss about? When can 3 points give us a triangle? When they are non-collinear. Only when they are collinear, 3 points don't give triangle. In all other cases, 3 points will give us a unique triangle. Any 3 points will give me a unique triangle or not, right? And all these points are distinct. I can even name them, number them. I can call them, let us say PQR, STU. Now these points are different now. I have named them. Okay. Now, are there any 3 collinear points out of these 6? No. No. Every time I choose 3 points, I'll get a triangle and I'll get a distinct triangle. Now, how to choose is something we'll learn in permutations and combination. Right? Answer is that only. Out of these 6 points, you just have to choose 3 and you're done. And 6 choose 3 is directly 20. So answer is 20. This is nothing but 6 factorial by 3 factorial, 3 factorial. Then you can calculate this. 6 factorial is 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So 3 into 2 into 1 gets cancelled. 3 into 2 into 1 is 6, that gets cancelled. 5 into 4 you get answer as 20. Again we will revisit this question when we will study permutations and combinations. But here, because element of geometry was involved, I have involved this question, included this question here as well, to make you understand that if the question asks how many triangles can be formed, you need to understand that any 3 chosen points give me a unique triangle except when they are collinear. Collinear points don't give me triangle, otherwise all 3 points, any 3 points will give me a triangle. Okay. तो subtract करने पड़ते हैं वो उतने, हाँ, those many triangles. और what we are doing, we are choosing 63. मतलब क्या किया हमने, out of 6 points we chose 3 points. तो कोई भी random 3 point हो सकते हैं वो choices. So उसमें से we had to remove the choices which will give us 3 collinear points. हाँ हाँ 1 माइनस करते हैं, बिकॉज अगर ऐसा होता, लेट अस से यहाँ पे 1 है, here 3 and here 2, here 1, still we have 6 point. नहीं 6 नहीं, अभी 7 हो गया ना. तो लेट अस से ऐसा कुछ है, if you have these 6 points, then I will do this, I will choose 6 to 3, but out of those triplets I am choosing the 3 points out of 6 ना. So I am choosing 3 point once, 3 point again, 3 point choose कर लिया, again 3 point. उन 3 के पेयर में से one choice is these 3 points. Okay, so if I again name them, let us say PQR, STU. Maybe one choice is PQR, I got a triangle. Another choice is PQS, again triangle, and then PQT, PQU, etc. etc. And one of the choices would be STU, right? I have to remove just that choice. Only if I have STU will I get a collinear 3 points. In no other case, I will get a 3 collinear points. The answer would be 63 minus 1. So 20 minus 1, 19 would be the answer if we have this kind of figure. We have to remove all those cases or all the choices where we have got collinear points. Chalo, next question, CSC 2022. We are given 8 equidistant points on a circle. Okay, so we have a circle, some property of circle we have to use. Read the question very carefully, what is mentioned and which property of circle could be relevant. Ashwini, which question's answer are you giving? Yes, that is 20, that is correct. 6 choose 3, 20 was the answer of that question. Now solve CSC 2022. Next question, the question with 8 equidistance points. Yes, Ashwini, that is correct. Draw the figure and you will understand. क्या क्या दिया है देखो. हाँ, no, 8 is not the answer. There are 8 equidistant points on a circle. So question is about circle. Then they are saying question is about how many right angle triangles. So circle and right angle triangle. Okay, we have heard one property. Then they are saying we have to use these some of these 3 points as vertices of the triangle and diameter as the one side. Huh? So one side has to be diameter of the triangle. Out of those 8 points, you have to choose 3 points every time, and one of the choice should be such that it becomes a diameter, side becomes a diameter. And we want to comment on right angle triangle. Where have you heard the relation between diameter and right angle triangle? Is there a property that we studied about diameter of circle and right angle triangles? What was it? So if we have a line through diagonal and you choose any other point on circumference, any other point, then the angle formed would be a right angle at the circumference, or the triangle formed would be right angle triangle. So I think there are enough clues in this question to prompt you to use that property. They are saying circle, they are saying right angle, they are saying diagonal. These keywords are there in the question. Try to draw this figure first. In geometry questions, if you draw the figure, you can visualize better. Draw the circle with 8 equidistant points and see if you can if you are done with this question, you can move on to next question. Eight कैसे आएगा? Let us say अब ये तुमने diagonal choose कर लिया, so you got every triangle would be right angle triangle. It doesn't matter, right? How many right angle triangles you got? अरे ये 2 पॉइंट तो चूज ही नहीं कर सकते, you need third point for triangle. Diagonal same रखो, and how many triangles with this diagonal? कितने आए? ये साइड है ना एक, तो ये दोनों गए. Now you just have to choose third point. Okay, चलो. You are on the right track. That is why I was forcing you. Track तो सही था. We are given 8 equidistant points on a circle. Let us take them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. हो गए यार? I think हो गए. Let us say these are 8 equidistant points on a circle. This is our center. Let us draw our regular octagon. Please assume that this is a regular octagon. Please assume that this is a regular octagon. Now what I want is, I want to find out, to draw right angle triangles such that one side of the triangle is diagonal, or one side of the triangle is diameter, sorry. One side of the triangle should be diameter. So let me just choose one diameter. Okay, this is one diameter, right? This is one diameter. Now with this as a diameter, how many triangles, right angle triangles, can I form? Because this is a circle and I know that whenever I have this diagonal, whenever I have this diameter, any triangle that I formed on the circumference is right angle triangle, right? So this is a right angle triangle because this is 90 degree. This is a diagonal, a diameter, it is 90 degree. Here this is also 90. This is also 90. How many got? And 3 on this side. This, then this and this. How many I got? 6 mil gaye. Now with one diagonal I got 6. How many diagonals are there in regular octagon? ये एक diagonal है. This is one diagonal. This is another. This is third. This is fourth. There are 4 diagonals. For each diagonal I have 6 triangles, 6 right angle triangles, and for 4 diagonals I will have 24 right angle triangles. सही ट्रैक पे थे ना तुम निरंजन? ट्रैक तो सही था, मतलब मैं दिखा रहा था तुम्हें कि 6 बन रहे, तुम 8 बोले जा रहे थे. So if you forget those 2 vertices, you need one more vertex to complete the triangle. So you have 6 remaining vertices. Pritisha यही किया था? Good. See how application of basic properties of circle was required in this question. Last year का question है. This is not old question. Of course they want you to be aware about be averse with basic geometry. Of course we cannot go into much depth because that is then cost benefit ratio उतना अच्छा है नहीं, but at least some introductory things we should be aware about so that we can use them. I thought this was a very good question, not an easy one to solve in examination hall, and this वो सब click हो जाए examination hall में, because these properties of circle plus the counting accurately both are required. Okay Manisha, sure. See, the question was, we were given 8 equidistant points on circle. So let me take 8 equidistant points on circle. Okay. So 1, let me draw. Right. So these are, let us say these are 8 equidistant points on circle. Okay. If you want, let me name them as well. Let me call them A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. These are 8 equidistant points on circle. Now question is, how many right angled triangles? Right angled triangles are, one of the angles is 90 degrees. How many right angled triangles can be formed out of these 8, choosing 3 points out of this 8 such that one side is diagonal? One side is diagonal or a diameter which passes through the center. So they are saying, out of these 8, you please choose 3, but condition is You have to choose these 3 points such that one side has to be a diameter. So I am choosing, for example, let us start with AE. I choose AE as my 2 points so that one side is diameter. I have to choose 2 such points such that I get one side as a diameter, because that is given in the question. Now I have to choose third point. I already chose 2 points AE. I have to choose third point. And how do I choose? I have to choose such that I need a right angle triangle. 3 points will give me a triangle. 2 I already chosen. I need one more point such that I get a right angle triangle. But we know that the property of circle is that whenever we have a diameter, it always subtends 90-degree angle at circumference. So if you form this triangle, let us say AHE, this is 90 degree because it is diameter and we are having point on circumference, so that angle is 90 degree. Always we know this property of circle. Also this AGE, that is also 90 degree. Why? Again, this is a diameter, this is point on circumference. Similarly, AFE is 90 degree, ABE is 90, ACE is 90, ADE is 90. So it doesn't matter which point I choose out of the remaining 6. Two I already have. I just want third point for completing a triangle. It doesn't matter which I choose, I will always get a right angle triangle. So if for my one choice of diagonal or diameter which passes through center, I have 6 right angles triangles. And how many such diameters can I choose? I can choose AE, I can choose BF, I can choose CG, or I can choose DH. So for diameter I have 4 choices, and for every choice I get 6 right angle triangles. So in total I have 6 into 4, 24 right angle triangles possible. Okay. Next question. Try the next question. चेक तो करना पड़ेगा. This is a trial and error kind of thing. Okay, Manisha is saying B. So according to her, 1 is not possible, but 2 is possible. D है. फर्स्ट गारंटी रॉन्ग है. अच्छा, 10 नहीं हो सकता. अच्छा, both are right. Contradicted you. दूसरा है. Both are not correct. Wow. Anybody for D? Anybody for D? Neither is correct. है. So D, C we have takers. B we have takers. Second मालूम नहीं. So basically you are going to leave the question. Okay. अश्विनी, यशराज, आपका क्या है ख्याल इसके बारे में? What do you think about this? अबीर, बताओ. कुछ हो रहा है? Maybe C. Maybe correct. Maybe wrong. हाँ. No no. 4 square sheets. Where are they? ऐसा तो बोला नहीं है कि सारे स्क्वायर सेम होने चाहिए, सेम साइज के होने चाहिए. All sides should be equal. हाँ, square can have different sizes, but all of them should be square. नहीं, sides, the square should be square. Like square should have all the sides equal, all the angles 90 degree. But one square can have 4 by 4 size, another square can have 8 by 8 size. That is okay. One square can have size 4. Yes. They are saying just squares. The sizes of squares can be anything, size of side. They can be different, no problem. The first statement again, if you understand, if you read the statement carefully, you will see that there is no mention about size of square. So they are just saying can be cut into squares. So this is 20 centimeter, this is 8. What you can do is you can do this 8, so 16 is gone. Here we have 4, here we have 8. So again you cut into half, so you will get 4, 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 squares you will get. Exactly 4 is written, yes, but size of square is not written. Now this is square, this is square. Yes, one square, 8 into 8 size, 8, 8, 8, 8. Again one square. Right. Yes. And these two are different squares. So there we have exactly 4 squares. No problem. That is not given. And what about the statement 2 then? समझ नहीं आया? No, they are saying triangular sheets of equal area. Now here equal area is mentioned. Now if you are forming triangles, they have to be of equal area. They can have different dimensions, I don't care, but area same होना चाहिए. Again the hint or one thing you can is it is possible. So can वाला statement है. So this is bit of इतना strong wording नहीं है this statement का. It is not like exactly most or only. This is not extreme statement. This is a possibility statement. So higher chances of being correct. Anyway, let us see. We have this 20, this 8. we want to see talk about 10 triangular areas. Okay, 10. So if you want 10, should I not divide this 20 into smaller pieces of maybe 4 4 or 2 2, so that I get, if I divide this 20 into 4 4 4 4 rectangles of 4 4 4 4, I'll get 5 pieces. I want 10 here na, so I at least go to 5. So I go like this: 1 2 3 4. All of them are 4 4 4 4 4 and total 5. Fine. So I got 5 rectangles. From 5 rectangles, can you create 10 triangles? Just divide by diagonal. Just 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. No, here 10 rectangular sheets is given. Na? There is no any very strong mathematical definitive method. We are just thinking on the feet and trying trial and error, going by trial and error. There is no method as such. Just you can go right that way, because they are saying 10 triangular sheets. So I should be dividing this into maybe multiples of 5 or 10. This side of 20 I can divide in 5 equal sheets. Yes, this is not possible to come to you in examination hall. In examination hall, you will try. If you don't get, maybe you leave or mark it as correct. Whatever you feel right at that moment, वो करोगे. अब मैं कुछ भी तुम्हें पढ़ा के भेज दूं, तुम कुछ भी करोगे. उधर तो जो फील होगा वहां पे, यार ये सही होना ही चाहिए, तो वो सही मार्क करोगे. नहीं होना चाहिए तो नहीं मार्क करोगे. अल्टीमेटली या तो प्लस में जाओगे या निगेटिव हो जाएगा. नो प्रॉब्लम. विल हैव इनफ definitive questions to act as a buffer, right? So this is how the answer is. Your answer is C. Next question. One second. Yashraj, you can. You can speak, Yashraj. Unmute नहीं कर सकते. Wait. Now try. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Right. Hmm. नहीं नहीं. Even if it is not mentioned, it is clear from the statement that if you want to cut the sheet into 10 triangular sheets of equal area, it means that यहाँ पे भी नहीं छोड़ना है. You don't want. Hmm. Yes, unless mentioned otherwise, यही assume करें. Yes, definitely. Test would be available online as well. हो गया, गुड। क्या रहा आंसर? ओके ओके अश्विनी, लेट अस सी। क्या रहा है? नहीं आया? क्या किया, क्या ट्राई किया? हाँ, वो व्हाट डिड यू ट्राई? हम्म, क्या नीचे? पाई चार्ट है ना ये, पेंटागन पे चले गए क्या? वी हैव अ पाई चार्ट, पाई चार्ट इज नथिंग बट अ सर्कल, सर्कल पे रिप्रेजेंट किया जाता है, एंड वी हैव 5 डिफरेंट आइटम्स। So this pie chart, when this angle at the center is divided into 5, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, let us call them A, B, C, D, E, and their expenditures are proportional to these angles. The one whose expenditure is more, corresponding angle would be larger. जिसका जितना expenditure ज्यादा, उतना angle बड़ा. And they are given us, they are giving us 4 angles. Can we find the fifth? What was it? What is it? 100. आया? 360 minus sum of all this. So angle corresponding A is 100. So what is the expenditure on A, item A? It is 100 out of 360, right? 100 out of 360. We want to talk about percentage. Percentage is about if instead of 360 I want to calculate over 100, how much is expenditure? This is what we have to solve. If expenditure is 100 out of 360, 100 degrees out of 360 degrees, then how much is the expenditure out of 100? Because we want to got percentage. Percentage, how much per 100? We are from given information we calculated per 360. From that we have to calculate per 100. It would be nothing but, इसको उल्टा करके उससे मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, nothing but 100 by 360 into 100. Ratio should be same. 100 by 360 is equal to x by 100. X is equal to 100 into 100 divided by 360. You can find it out. 1 0 is gone. There is denominator. There is 9 in the denominator at multiple places. So we can divide by 4. So we have 25 into 10, 250 by. Answer is D. Right? Easy question based on simple geometry. You just need to be aware about central angle of circle or total angle, which is 360 degrees. Next question. Try it out. Alright. दिख रहा है आपको? ओके, अरे ज्यादा Fine. Right. हम्म, क्या हुआ? नहीं आ रहा? क्वेश्चन अच्छे से पढ़ो पहले. लेट हाँ, फिर से एक बार read it carefully. I think you have made mistake in interpretation somewhere. फिर बाकियों के आ रहे हैं आंसर यार. कहाँ पे गलती करी? किसको ऐड कर रहा हूँ बेटा? 70 और 16 को ऐड करके हो तो 84 आता है. प्रोटीन्स करस्पॉन्ड टू 16%. प्रोटीन्स है 16%. Proteins correspond to 16% and water corresponds to 70%. रितिशा नहीं आ रहा? क्या हुआ? समझा क्वेश्चन? डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड द क्वेश्चन? वी हैव 3 इंग्रेडिएंट्स इन द. निकालो. नहीं, कुछ तो तुमने भी सिली मिस्टेक किया है. तुम फाइनल आंसर गलत निकालोगे इतना सब कुछ मेहनत करके तो कैसे चलेगा यार? हाँ तो क्या होता है फिर वही बात. अब मल्टीप्लिकेशन डिवीजन में गलती कर दोगे. 30 any percent of a number is multiplication by that percent. 360 into 30% is 360 into 30 by 100. What we have a pie diagram. In this pie diagram, it shows distribution of proteins, water and other dry elements of the human body. So there are 3 components according to the question of human body: water, proteins and other dry components. So let us draw this. So we have water, there is protein, there is water and other dry components. That is what they are saying. And what they are further saying that proteins correspond to 16%. Okay, fine. And water corresponds to 70%. Again, the diagram is not to scale because 70% होगा तो diagram should be like this or all. But that is fine. We are just representative purposes के लिए diagram है. Water corresponds to 70%. Then what would be the other element correspond to? Total is 100%. 70 plus 16 is 86%. So remaining 14% is nothing but other elements. And they are saying it is P%. So P क्या होगा? Protein and other dry elements correspond to P%. So P is nothing but 16 plus 14. protein plus other dry elements. So P% is nothing but 30%, 16 plus 14, and central angle corresponding to that 30% is 30% of total angle, which is 360, is equal to 30 by 100 into 360, cut, 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 3 into 36, क्या होता है 120 होता है बेटा. So you were right till this point. उसके बाद गलती कर दी तुमने. Very frustrating. इतना मेहनत करके गलत करोगे तो फिर बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन आ जाएगा. प्रतीक्षा तुम कहाँ रह गई थी? अच्छा, okay, okay, no. 14, all the both of them together correspond to P%. तुमने भी सेम मिस्टेक की थी. Okay, read the question very carefully. Come now on. Next question. Now the question is about sound कम आ रहा है. Everybody is facing this problem. No. Okay, Manisha. Maybe there is some. Okay, now it's fine. Good. Try the next question. उसके ऊपर का आपने छोड़ दिया क्या क्वेश्चन? ओह, अच्छा. Try this question. Sorry, it was mistakenly छूट गया क्वेश्चन. इसका इसका ओके. नहीं, पॉइंट ऑफ इंटरसेक्शन मतलब if you have a square and a circle, तो अरे इतना ऊपर कैसे चला गया रे? Point of intersection of square and circle. So this is a circle, this is a square. So this is one point of intersection, this is another point of intersection. कहीं पे भी are they saying anything specific to you? They are just talking about minimum and maximum. So you take as extreme case as you wish to tell them minimum and maximum, no problem. C आ रहा है आपका? ओके. आपका भी C आ रहा है, आपका D है. ओके, वी हैव टू डिफरेंट. इसका D है. सॉरी माय अपोलॉजीज. Okay, now we have, oh great, this is the situation I love the most. We have A, B, C, D, all the answers. आपका A, good. B, okay. Fun. Ritisha, आप you have not attempted? A है आपका भी, okay. Of course, only one of you is correct. And now they are saying minimum number of points of intersection of square and a circle is 2. So they are talking about intersection of a square and circle. So I'll draw a square. and I'll draw a circle. What is the point of intersections? y2. तो 0 है ना फिर, ऐसा थोड़ी बोला कि होना ही चाहिए. But in any case, even if you want to make them intersect, this touch is a kind of intersection. Intersection मतलब क्या है? Intersection meaning they have a point in common. You can have 0 as well. Why is there a problem? You can have 0 points of intersection. तो है ही नहीं तो 0 है ना फिर. हाँ. In any which way, this statement is wrong. This statement is wrong. But this is also one case that they are not intersecting. Who says every circle and square has to be intersect? Minimum is minimum. 0. Who says? हाँ तो नहीं कर रहे ना, तो ऐसा बोला है उन्होंने कि for if they had said that for intersecting square and circle the minimum points of intersection, they have not said anything. They are saying any circle and any square. There could be circle and square which do not intersect. Exactly. This is they are giving as open statement as they can. Very very open. जो करना है करो. Take as extreme stage as you want. अगर नहीं होगा तो 0 पे आएगा ना. बात वही तो है. आर दे सेइंग कि इंटरसेक्ट होना ही चाहिए? उन्होंने तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं है. दे आर गिविंग एज ओपन स्टेटमेंट एज दे कैन. दे आर नॉट फिक्सिंग एनी सर्कल. दे आर नॉट फिक्सिंग एनी. हाँ ये तो तुम मान रहे हो ना, उसने बोला नहीं है. हाँ उसने वो भी नहीं बोला है. बट इवन इफ उसको वो बोलना अगर एग्जामिनर के मन में हो लेकिन लिख नहीं पाया तो भी तो 1 आंसर होना चाहिए. तो भी तो 0, तो भी तो 2 नहीं है. है ना. Anyway, first statement is wrong. According to me, answer should be minimum should be 0. But if examiner has anything else in his mind, answer would be 1. If he wants them to intersect. Maximum number of points of intersection is 8. Everybody agrees on this? Nahi? So let us draw a circle. ठीक है. कहाँ 7 है यार? 7 तो आ ही नहीं सकते ना. तो दिस इज सिमेट्रिक. ऑड नंबर नहीं आएंगे. कहाँ 7 आ रही? 2 2 2 2 8. You can take any square and I just slowly increase the size of the circle to make them intersect, and I find that at some particular sweet spot they will intersect 8 points. After that they will intersect 4 points when these points lie on the circle, and after that there will be no intersection. ठीक? नहीं. All right, I think our time is up. We will cover rest of it tomorrow. We'll solve the PYQs. कितने बच्चे? 2 ही बच्चे हैं तो कर लेते हैं. फिर 2 ही बच्चे तो कर लो. I thought 8-10 बच्चे होंगे. उसमें से एक समझने में काफी टाइम लगेगा तुम्हें। और डू वन थिंग, try these two questions at your home. Try these two questions at your home. It will be the first thing that we discuss tomorrow. ये थोड़ा 3D geometry का question है. The only time they ask 3D about 3D geometry. It requires multiple times application of Pythagoras theorem, repeated application, and some imagination. Imagination में difficulty आएगी. ठीक है? Any doubts? Online students, you guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll meet tomorrow. We'll cover comprehension tomorrow. If you have any doubts in your worksheets, please do ask today or tomorrow. I'll provide you with the geometry wala worksheet tomorrow. And second वाला तो मिल चुका है ना आपको, relative size of number वाला worksheet that you have. Third worksheet I'll give you tomorrow, as well as tomorrow there will be new booklet as well. Huh? Huh? I don't remember the answers. Last question. Last question you are asking, right? This answer of this is yes, B. CSE 20. I thought this answer you are asking 2017. Okay, have a good day.